My name is Aliyah Funschelle, and I'm a sports reporter, talk show host, and I have my own brand called Sports with Aliyah. I want this segment to not only empower women in sports at the moment, but also inspire young girls, and I want them to know that no matter what, there is always a spot for them at the table in the industry. So without further ado, welcome to Empower Women in Sports Wednesday. Hello everybody, it's Aliyah Funschelle and welcome back to another week of Empower Women in Sports Wednesday. This week's guest is amazing. She is the Twitter queen and I can't wait for you guys to learn more about her. So without further ado, here's this week's guest.
My name is Gabb Goudy and I live in Cleveland, Ohio, the best place in the world, and I'm a content creator for FanDuel.
I love everybody. I love everyone.
Gabb is such an amazing girl and I'm so excited to have her on the show. And honestly, I was shocked to learn about how she got her start in sports. She has such a big social media following and she puts so much of her life out there, but I honestly couldn't believe that I didn't know this about her. So here is how she got her start in the sports industry and a little bit about her background.
I've been a sports fan my whole entire life. Ever since I was little, my dad and I would go to games, mostly baseball at first. Then we started going to football, some basketball, and then I played sports my whole life. I played basketball, I played softball, I ran cross country. I really hated that, but I did it because I needed people to do it. So yeah, I've just been around sports my whole life. Okay, so I went to school in West Virginia, and my background is not in sports at all. It is biochemistry. I have a biochemistry degree, and I worked as a chemist for 2 years. I still do some science stuff, but I'm moving past that now. And I got into sports because of Twitter. So I was just working in a lab in Pittsburgh because I was going to go to med school, and then I realized that I hate blood and I don't want to touch anybody. So then I did that, and I was working in a lab and it was okay. And then someone's like, "Oh, you're funny. You should post what you say." My guy friends are like, "You should post what you say about all this stuff on the internet." I'm like, sure. So I started posting stuff on Twitter last September. And from last September, I had 600 followers on Twitter, and now I have 26,000. Well, it was crazy. Their VP of content DM'd me on Twitter, and he was like, "You're really funny, and you do things that not very many people do, and I like that." He's like, "Have you ever thought about doing this as a job?" And I'm like, "Every single day, but I just don't know how to go about it because again, I just had a science background. I've never done anything in sports besides play sports or go to games." And we set up a Zoom call, and then we had a few more calls. This was in March. And then by June, he started sending over contracts and different things they would want from me and what to do. And now I run their TikTok and I post some things on Instagram and Twitter, and then we're working to add some more stuff to it. So it's really fun.
Gabb is literally proof that you can turn your passions into a job and it doesn't really matter what you study in college. So I'm so proud of her and I'm honestly so happy that she shared that with me. So with having such a big social media presence definitely comes with a lot of trolls and she is the queen of handling them. So I definitely wanted her insight about how she deals with the social media haters and having such a big platform.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I don't know why. It's mostly men that are just unhappy. Sometimes there's women, and I hate to see those ones. But I like to take what they say, and what they say is not going to hurt my feelings because they don't know me and they're never going to meet me in person or be around me. And I know they wouldn't say that to me if they ever saw me. But I just like to take what they say and make it into a joke, if that makes sense. I'm never going to attack them. Well, I could say their team sucks, but I'm never going to attack their personality or anything about them or their appearance. But I will say something funny and flip it into a joke.
Having confidence is definitely easier said than done, and not everyone is born with that confidence and sometimes it's acquired. So I wanted to learn more about Gabby's past and what made her so confident today to be able to stand up for herself and others. So here's a little bit about her journey with finding her voice and her confidence.
In high school, I used to be a little crybaby. I used to be just a little crybaby, and anything someone would say to me would hurt my feelings. But now I don't know how I got to this point, but in college definitely I did a lot of like leadership roles at my school, and people were mean for those. Because as soon as you are in charge of someone else, everybody has something to say. And that really helped me. And I'm just like, you know what? I've heard it all at this point. Nothing you say is really going to get to me, and nothing I see is probably going to be surprising. I feel like a lot of women in sports, not saying they don't have confidence because we're all very confident and powerful, but I just think some of them are a little bit afraid to say what they actually feel because people are so ruthless and mean. And I think that's like something that we're all trying to overcome, and I like that a lot. And like the more people that are doing it, the more people also join in with it. And I just like to like reach out to other women. I'm like, you're awesome. Like, forget about what these people are saying, and you're like so much better than what obviously they're saying. But it's, man, women in sports, it's crazy for us because people have something to say every single day.
Having your life put out on social media definitely takes a toll on your mental health, but I love how much of an advocate for mental health that Gabby is. So here's what she had to say about that.
I like to do a lot of tweets that are just, again, like interactive, and I do it not only just for that, but also it like helps a lot of other people with like mental health things, and I want to see what they're like going through or what they're doing with their day, or just like the communication just means like so much to your followers and people that you're there with. And if they see you like reaching out to other people and like communicating with them, they really enjoy that, and more people will want to like follow and engage with that too. And I've learned that for sure. I like to ask a lot of questions that people will answer, not just so they'll answer, I just want to know what they think. And I like to compare my answers with them too. And that's probably one of my favorite things about being on that app.
Another thing I wanted to talk about with Gabby is the future of what a sports personality looks like. I mean, we're also used to the typical journalist of someone that writes for a newspaper or someone that's on air, but there is really so much more to a sports public figure than there used to be. And I definitely wanted to talk to her about that because she seems to have it mastered. So here's a little bit about what we think the future of being a sports public figure looks like.
People like anybody that's saying something loud and loud enough for others to hear, or something controversial. They love it. And because you're going to get interactions. And for me, like, I don't really care about this. I mean, I'd like the stats, obviously, like it helps the game, all the things, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you like this person had this passer rating in this game and this many touchdowns and this on this day he does this. I'm like, nobody really cares about that. I care about like what these guys are doing in their personal lives and like about their brand. I like to know about like these people as like, I just like to know about them. And I do like their on-field stuff too, because everybody cares about that. And still, like, there's so much more to these people than just what they're doing on the field. And I really like to address that too. And even if it's funny, sometimes you got to do it because people love that. Oh yeah. So I definitely do things that other people don't do. I think people are afraid to do it because they feel like as women in sports, we're supposed to be like professional in like a cookie cutter image, but you don't have to do that. You can do anything you want to, and you can make your brand tailored to how you want to do it or anything like that, because I'm not going to be the one on the sidelines in a dress with a microphone saying, oh, how do you feel after this play? That's not what I want to do. And you don't have to do that. You can literally do anything you want because the job field is expanding so much. You can be your own boss now. Like, you could go on YouTube and make the videos you want and get people to watch them. Yeah, it's just crazy. If you want to break into this industry, you can do it so easily. You can say whatever you want to and make it your own brand and make sure you're interactive. And make sure you're reaching out to other people too, and just getting in contact with so many people that you can. Like, I've met so many people through Instagram and Twitter. It's absolutely insane, and it's helped me grow so much. So like, reach out to people. Everyone's willing to help, and literally everybody.
Thank you so much to Gabb for being a guest on this week's show. She is such an inspiration and such a fun person to follow. So make sure to give her a follow on Twitter and Instagram if you don't already. She is just so entertaining, and I can't wait to see where this takes her. And thank you to Eric Fisher Academy for this week's hairstyle. Michaela is so cute, and she did the cutest little pigtail half up, half down look. So make sure to give her and Eric Fisher a follow. They are just such incredible people, and I love this partnership that we have. Lastly, thank you so much for watching and for always supporting me and what I do. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. You can follow me on social media at Aliyah Funschelle or on Twitter at Aliyah Fun. I'm literally everywhere. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, literally anything. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Wednesday.